So today Ben Johnson hit the podium, and he said, and I clipped it, but I didn't listen to Chris. But essentially, he said that he and the offense need to
step up,
pull their weight,
and that's a lot of weight when you look at that offensive line.
That is a lot of weight. And so, and I tuned in a little bit this morning, and they're having a conversation. It almost got heated. By the way, happy birthday, Flannel Sam.
Oh,
it's Flannel's birthday?
It's Flannel's birthday
what
today.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday, Flannel Sam. We should hit him up. Did you already go to the gym today?
I did. No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do some Thursday night football shenanigans or something. But anyway, they asked the question. And as a defend the Glenn guy, as a house patients guy, I still would have slapped you in your face and called you crazy for ever asking this question years prior. But has Aaron Glenn been a better coordinator than Ben Johnson this year? Spin more X.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy to say because, no. No. Ben Johnson has been the better coordinator so far. He's got the number one offense in the NFL, even after last.
I think they're number 2 right now.
Well, they're going to be number 1 after this week.
Who is fucking ahead of us, by the way?
No idea. Maybe the Eagles? No, I don't know. But the Ravens, probably. No, Ben Johnson has been better this year. I said it on BDE today that Ben Johnson has been better, but Aaron Glenn has been more important. If we have another couple fucking stinkers on offense, then maybe Aaron Glenn's been better. But Ben Johnson, what he's done with this offense, it's just another year of the machine. The cogs keep rolling. He is just an absolute monster, dude.
Yeah, I got a message from the crash out. The crash out one too. That's crazy. I think there could be a conversation. I absolutely can, but like, as much as I've and I've been the fucking like the house patience guy over anybody else in this fucking network. I don't even care. It's been me, and a lot of you motherfuckers out there too. I don't forget. A lot of you want Dan Campbell fired too. We stood on business right then too. That's where the house patient came from. The defend the Glenn though stuff is like we just knew he didn't have stuff to work with. Now he finally has something to work with, and he's cooking. But I'm a fucking Ben Johnson stan, bro, and I can't back down from that. There's just nothing that he's done. He may have had a bad game. I'd point to the Tampa Bay game for damn sure, where I was like, hey, Ben, what's going on? What we doing? And come to find out, a lot of that stuff was JG just calling him out of those plays. And kudos to Todd Bowles for, mixing stuff up. Ben Johnson, it's insane. Like there's just no, you can't prep for that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's just it's automatic unfairness because you can do more on offense than you can defense. Like you're dictating the style of play of the game, like the way things are going to go. Are we airing it out? Are we running it? The trick plays in itself. Just this like it's Ben Johnson's insane, and the fact to have as many weapons as he does, and I guess you can't say they're all equally utilized because sometimes we know some guys miss out, especially if you guys play fantasy football or. Obviously, you see it in the media. What happened to Sam Laporta this week? Amon-Ra currently on pace to have a finish under 1,000 yards receiving this year, despite his touchdown record he just broke, previously held by hopefully super Hall of Famer to come, Herman Moore. But Ben still equally distributes that, much deserving.
Herman Moore not being in the Hall of Fame is a travesty.
It is a travesty. This man held the reception record strong until slot merchant Marvin Harrison came along. That was a stacked offense, though.
That was a stacked offense.
But no, Ben,
he was doing it with Eric Kramer and Scott Mitchell.
Yeah.
Cool. You had Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. Congrats.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taking Herman Moore.
All day. But either way, Ben's ability to spread the ball around, to use everybody effectively. I mean, we were without a tight end, in all due respect, but like he still made Shane Zylstra work. He still made Brock Wright work. Yeah. He revived Khalif Raymond's career.
Yes, he did.
He made Josh Reynolds a relevant conversation to have about receivers. Like he's made everybody cook. Where like Glenn, we've kind of had to wait for him to get some shiny pieces.
I was gonna say that, make that argument. I mean, Aaron Glenn. I was going to make that argument to where we've seen Ben Johnson do it without Jameson Williams, without Amon-Ra St. Brown, without David Montgomery, without pieces like that.
Glenn without Pascal.
Glenn's been doing without Hutch, without Pascal, without Brian Branch. He's been doing the same thing. And it's like they have the same amount of shiny pieces. Like it's not like Ben's got a cupboard full of dull spoons.
Not anymore.
They did. Well, so I mean, yeah. Now that's what I'm saying. They have the same amount of shiny pieces now. So, like, if Ben Johnson didn't have the shiny pieces like Aaron Glenn did the first couple years, maybe his offenses don't look good enough because he's always had Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's always had Jared Goff. He's always had that offensive line. So it is something to think about because Aaron Glenn is so good, man. It's picking hairs if you want to pick one over the other, but I would go with Ben Johnson just because they are higher rated. Even though Aaron Glenn, if they had Aiden Hutchinson this whole year, you're probably looking at the #1 defense in football.
His haters are probably calling him the Jared Goff of defensive coordinators.
Yeah,
he's everything around the work.
Kirby Joseph made Aaron Glenn. Brian Branch made Aaron Glenn.
I'm joking, but yeah, I can't go against Ben Johnson. As much as I love AG, as much as I've been on that ride. Where you at with it, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me Aiden Hutchinson gets hurt this year and the Lions have the #8 scoring defense, I would have told you you're crazy. And that's because Aaron Glenn is doing such a great job scheming up. And I didn't see this coming, to be honest. I mean, I thought the potential was there with Hutch to be a top 10 defense, and I think that's what you need to ultimately win the Super Bowl. But when you have the #2 scoring offense by 0.2 points behind the Ravens, which obviously, like Spenny said, will be the #1 after this week, you cannot say that it's Aaron Glenn. If you have the #1 scoring offense or top 2 scoring offense, you cannot say it's not that coordinator. This guy is throwing hook and ladders left and right.
Yeah.
You're seeing different. He's toying with the defense at this point like he's a cat with a mouse. Mm-hmm. He sets things up. He is ridiculous. Just ridiculous to watch at this point. Every Sunday we see something new. Well, not even Sunday at this point. We're playing Thursdays. We're playing, Monday night games because that's how good and how entertaining this team is. They want them on primetime, and it's in part because of Ben Johnson and this offense. It's beautiful to see, and I'm so glad that we have him for this year because we weren't supposed to.
It's been, for me personally, as a guy that's gotten into it, I mean, shout out to Paul Thomas, in the chat right now. Him and I have gotten into it in the past over Aaron Glenn. I know Dr. Clapping Cheeks. I mean, a few of the names because I was just holding my ground because I saw the potential. It's just I also saw like what was missing, what was bad, and you can't. Like, I don't know. Some shit's just really easy to like point out. Like even like the yards. I get there's a lot of yards passing against the Detroit Lions defense. However, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, or at least early in the week, where it's like when you're shutting down the run as efficiently as they have,
you're gonna have to throw the ball.
They're gonna have to throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And what's more important inside those yards, I think AG talked about today, is the quarterback rating, the interceptions, the completion percentage.
Yeah, it's when you look at this team, they are the toughest on opposing defenses, or opposing quarterbacks, aka they have the lowest quarterback rating against. They're the best team on third down, aka they get off the field the most out of any defense in the NFL. They have the most takeaways in the NFL, so they flip the field and they make the biggest plays out of any defense in the NFL. So if you're worried about the amount of passing yards that they're giving up, you're nitpicking because look at the touchdowns, look at the quarterback rating, look at the takeaways. They're top 1 in all of those. So they have the best red zone defense in the NFL. Like, if you guys are mad that teams are catching 5-yard passes underneath and then kicking field goals, I don't know what you want.
And Damon Dice, I'm officially extending the offer for you to become a Detroit Lions fan. I've come to like you.
No, hard pass.
It's been cute. I respect the effort, but like, put the sword down. It's plastic anyway. You're not hurting anybody with that thing. The Bears are pathetic. The only pathetic thing right now is you defending that organization. Just come on. You're watching for a reason. You like what we got going on. You're allowed to be a Lions fan for the rest of the year, man.
It's fair.
But Aaron Glenn's the absolute fucking man, and so has Ben Johnson. I just can't. I can't falter on that. If I was a owner, governor, whatever the hell you want to call him, or general manager, and I had to make a hire between the two of them today, all due respect, I'm hiring Ben Johnson. Whoa. Because what, leadership?
Leadership, yeah. He's a leader of men. He's been in it more. He'll get guys ready to go, and I think offensive minds are easier to find than defensive minds because you look at these guys popping up all over the league, like everywhere. You can poach somebody from a tree.
Chicago.
Not in Chicago. No, definitely not in Chicago. And yeah, it depends on the team. You know, if I'm the Chicago Bears and I have limitless weapons and the first overall pick to get a quarterback, I'm not going to hire a defensive guy. But it depends on the fit for sure, what you're looking for. But I think Aaron Glenn is a better leader of men. And I think that's an extremely important thing for a head coach, i.e. Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I think me personally, and this could go either way. This is opinion, like true opinion. Everything we say is opinion, but this is a national like opinion. There's no numbers or stats behind it. I feel like he's more built towards defense versus a team leader because he's a little bit like fiery, almost like too fiery. That I feel like it rubs some folks the wrong way.
Campbell's pretty fiery.
Not as fiery as Aaron Glenn. And I feel like that can rub some people the wrong way. It feels almost impatient at times. But that's a true opinion from the outside. I'm not in there day to day. I think you hear Dan Campbell, those guys say they're fiery, but you see him snap at media members, you know, and he's not dealing with the media nearly as much as Dan Campbell.
Yeah.